Have you ever noticed how some days your body feels 10 years older before you've even finished your first cup of tea? Maybe your knees complain a little louder or your energy slips away by noon. You're not alone. And there's nothing wrong with you. It's just your body asking for a bit more kindness and a few simple routines. The lovely surprise is that living to 100 isn't about perfection, expensive supplements, or forcing yourself into a boot camp. It's about tiny, gentle habits that add up, habits that fit comfortably into real life after 60. In this video, we're going to walk through 10 easy habits that can help you feel steadier. Sleep deeper, think clearer, and keep doing the things you love for years to come. Nothing extreme, nothing complicated, just small daily choices that quietly stack the odds in your favor. Let's begin with the rhythm that sets everything else in motion. How you greet the day and how you wind it down. Think of your body like a friendly old clock. It runs best when it knows when to wake, eat, move, and rest. So the first habit is a simple morning and evening routine, anchored by light and regularity. When you wake up, before you check the news or tackle chores, step outside or to a bright window for a few minutes of daylight. Even on a cloudy morning, that light tells your internal clock it's time to be awake, which helps you feel more alert during the day and sleep better at night. Pair that light with a small glass of water to rehydrate and a few deep breaths to open your chest, no ceremony required. In the evening, protect the hour before bed like a cherished ritual. Dim the lights, lower the volume, and trade scrolling for something soothing. Soft music, a warm shower, a short journal note about one thing that went well. Aim to go to bed and wake up at roughly the same times most days. Regular light, gentle winding down, and consistent sleep times work together like a trio in a well-rehearsed band, calming inflammation, balancing hormones, and sharpening memory. If you've had patchy sleep lately, don't wrestle with it. Just keep the routine going. Your body learns quickly when you treat it kindly and consistently. Once your day has a friendly rhythm, the second habit slides in naturally. Move your body in little bites throughout the day with a special nod to strength and balance. You don't need long gym sessions or heavy equipment to build the kind of strength that protects your independence. Think of movement as seasoning sprinkled generously over everything you do. When you finish a phone call, stand and do 5 slow sit-to-stands from a chair. Waiting for the kettle? Hold the counter and lift your heels 10 times to wake up your calves. During a TV commercial, march in place, raising your knees comfortably. These tiny movement snacks help your muscles stay active, your joints stay oiled, and your blood sugar stay steady. Add a couple of simple strength anchors 3 or 4 days a week. Gentle wall push-ups to keep your chest and arms strong, and those same chair sit-to-stands to strengthen hips and thighs. If getting off the floor is tricky, that's okay. You can build strength without ever going down to the ground. Balance deserves its own moment of attention. Falls are sneaky thieves of independence, and the best time to protect your balance is before you feel shaky. Practice standing on one foot while lightly touching the counter, or shift your weight slowly from heel to toe as if you're rocking in a tiny boat. If that feels wobbly, keep a sturdy chair in front of you and just let your ankles learn the gentle sway. 2 minutes a day is enough to signal your brain balance matters. Over a few weeks, you'll feel steadier when you step off a curb or reach for a top shelf. And don't underestimate the power of enjoyable movement. A short walk with a neighbor, a playlist that makes your shoulders sway while you chop vegetables. Even tidying a drawer with some pep in your step, it all counts. Aim to move in ways that feel pleasant, not punishing. Pleasant is what you'll repeat. And repetition is what changes a body, even at 60, 70, or 80 and beyond. With your day's rhythm set and your body waking up, the third habit is about the simplest fuel that loves you back. Meals that are gentle on your digestion, kind to your heart, and steadying for your mind. There's no need to overhaul everything or follow strict rules. Start by making one daily meal, mostly plants, with an emphasis on fiber and color. A spoonful of beans or lentils added to soup. A handful of leafy greens tucked into an omelet, berries over yogurt, or sliced tomatoes with a drizzle of olive oil. All of these feed your gut's friendly bacteria, which in turn calm inflammation and help you absorb nutrients better. If beans have ever made your stomach protest, cook them soft and start with a tablespoon or 2. Your system adapts quickly when introduced gently. Protein is your ally for keeping muscle, especially as the years pile up. Every meal is an opportunity. Eggs, tofu, fish, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, or a piece of chicken about the size of your palm. Pair that protein with something colorful for antioxidants. A few cherry tomatoes, some spinach, a crisp apple, and a bit of healthy fat like olive oil, nuts, or avocado to help you feel satisfied longer. If mid-afternoon is when your energy nosedives, try a small protein-rich snack instead of sweets. A few almonds with a slice of cheese or yogurt with cinnamon. You'll likely notice your focus steadies and the desire to nap eases. Hydration gently supports all of this without much fuss. As we age, the thirst signal gets quieter, so it helps to make water visible and convenient. Keep a glass or bottle where you sit most. If plain water bores you, float a slice of lemon or cucumber or drink herbal tea. Many people feel better aiming for a glass at each natural pause, after brushing teeth with each meal, during your evening wind down. If you're managing fluid restrictions from your doctor, of course follow that guidance. Otherwise, small sips over the day prevent the lightheaded dips and help joints and digestion hum along. There's also a small mealtime practice that can change everything without removing a single food. Slow down just a little. Put the fork down between bites once in a while. Notice the warmth, the texture, the aroma. When your brain has time to register, "I'm eating," you'll naturally stop when comfortably full instead of stuffed. That tiny pause can reduce heartburn, improve blood sugar, and make meals more enjoyable, which is the point of eating together in the first place. You might be wondering how to make all this stick when life gets messy, appointments pile up, or motivation dips. The trick is to pair new habits with things you already do. Light and water right after you wake. Chair sit to stands after each bathroom break. A spoonful of beans added to whatever soup is on the stove. A glass of water when you set the table. Balance practice while you wait for the microwave. None of these ask for extra time carved out of your day. They simply ride along with what you already do. If a day goes sideways, forgive it and start again at the next natural moment. Bodies respond to kindness and consistency more than intensity. As these first 3 habits begin to weave themselves into your days, greeting the morning with light and a gentle bedtime, moving in little joyful bites with a touch of strength and balance, and choosing simple meals that comfort and nourish, you'll notice subtle shifts. Mornings feel a bit brighter. Joints complain a little less. Your mind clears a touch faster after lunch. Those are quiet signs that your future self is already being cared for. Let's keep that momentum going and build on it, carrying this same easy, doable spirit into the next small changes that help you stay strong, independent, and joyful for as long as possible. You've set a friendly rhythm to your days. You're moving in little enjoyable ways, and you're feeding your body with kindness. Now let's soften the background noise that steals energy without you noticing. Stress can feel like a tight collar around the neck, never dramatic, just snug enough to drain your spark. The good news is you don't need a week at a spa to turn it down. Start with tiny, timed resets that fit inside ordinary moments. When the kettle warms, practice a simple breath rhythm. Inhale through your nose for a count of 4. Exhale gently for a count of 6. 2 minutes like this signals your nervous system to step off the gas pedal and onto the brake, lowering tension in your shoulders and making thoughts a little less sticky. If lying in bed, your mind starts playing the what-ifs, put one hand over your heart, the other over your belly, and breathe as if you're rocking a baby to sleep. The weight of your own hands is soothing, and your breath is the lullaby. Think of stress like dust. It settles everywhere unless you do quick, regular swipes. Limit the loudest sources. If the evening news leaves you buzzing, choose a shorter summary earlier in the day and end the night with music or a light show instead. Keep a worry window, a brief daily slot when you're allowed to let the anxious thoughts come and go on paper. Scribble them down and then fold the paper closed, like putting the dog back on its leash. Your brain learns there's a place for concerns that isn't all day long. Let your senses help too. Keep a pleasant scent nearby, lavender oil dabbed on a tissue. The smell of oranges when you peel one, the earthy scent after rain. Your senses are a doorway to calm, and they swing open quickly with practice. And don't underestimate laughter. Call the friend who always makes you snort, watch a scene that reliably cracks you up, or share a silly memory with your grandchild. Laughter empties tension from your chest, the way opening a window clears a stuffy room. When stress loosens its grip, your energy returns, and that opens the door to a habit that keeps people thriving well past 90, being connected, not in a big, loud way, in the steady, right-sized way that fits your personality. Isolation creeps in quietly as families move, friends pass away, and routines change, but it's never too late to build a small, sturdy circle. Start with what I call 2-minute touch points. Every day, reach out to one person in under 2 minutes, a quick thinking of you message, a photo of your garden, a joke you heard at the pharmacy. Short, sincere contact counts more than rare, long calls that never quite happen. If leaving the house is tough, let connection come to you. A regular phone date with a sibling, a church live stream where you still chat with familiar names, a book club on video where everyone actually talks about the snacks more than the book. It all feeds that part of you that needs to be seen and heard. If you're ready for a bit more, look for third places that feel comfortable. The community center coffee hour, the bench under the big tree where the same dog walkers pass by, the warm corner of the library, the quilting table at the senior center, the Tai Chi group in the park. Visit once, stay for 15 minutes, and reward yourself afterward with something you enjoy. Go again next week. Relationships grow the way bread rises slowly and predictably if the kitchen is warm enough. If you've been burned by draining relationships, protect your peace with simple boundaries. You can love someone and still keep conversations shorter, avoid topics that stir you up, or meet in public spaces that feel safe. And if you've lost people dear to you, remember that grief and connection can live side by side. Sharing stories about those you miss with someone who nods and smiles is a form of connection too. Belonging doesn't mean having many people. It means having a few who make you feel like yourself. Let's weave one more thread into your days. One that keeps your mind bright and your spirit curious. Brains love novelty. They don't need big challenges. They need newness in bite sizes. A fresh route on your walk makes your brain map new landmarks. Brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand, standing up and sitting down while naming cities, learning 3 phrases in a new language every week. These tiny challenges jog your brain the way a playful nudge gets a friend moving. If you enjoy music, try 10 minutes a day on a simple instrument or a free app that teaches piano notes. If you prefer words, read a page of poetry aloud. Hearing your own voice shape rhythm and rhyme exercises attention and memory together. Cooking can become brain training. Pick one new herb, learn its scent, and try it in a familiar dish. Your palate becomes a classroom, and dinner doubles as a memory lesson. Many people worry about memory slips after 60. Instead of fighting the slips, build gentle supports and keep the path clear. Use one home for your essentials, a tray by the door for keys, wallet, glasses, and protect it like a treasure spot. Keep a notepad or small whiteboard in the kitchen and write one-line reminders you can see at a glance. Place medication next to something you never forget, like your teapot or toothbrush, and pair it with that habit. These simple cues reduce the mental load, freeing your mind for things that actually delight you. And when a name escapes you, don't scold yourself. Ask your brain for a clue instead. What letter did it start with? Where did I first meet them? You'll feel the answer inch closer, often arriving when you've stopped chasing it. Curiosity itself is a tonic. Choose a tiny project that has a finish line you'll actually cross. Press 1 leaf a day from the trees in your neighborhood and label them. Sort a small box of old photos and write 3 lines of story on the back before you refile them. Interview an older relative or even yourself on your phone about a single year of life, one voice memo at a time. These little projects stitch meaning into your days and leave a trail your future self and your family will cherish. And if your hands or joints limit what you can do, adapt freely. Audiobooks, voice-to-text notes, large print puzzle books, and simple adaptive tools make learning accessible without strain. The goal is never perfection, it's presence. Show up to something mildly new, regularly, and your brain stays remarkably lively. As you bring these habits to life, resetting stress with quick breaths and laughter, gently rebuilding your circle with 2-minute touch points and welcoming third places, and feeding your mind little bits of novelty, you might notice the way they support each other. Calmer nerves make you more open to people. Friendly people make you more likely to try new things. New things give you stories to share, which deepen your connections even more. This is how small habits start to braid together into a sturdy rope you can hold on to on the wobbly days. If any habit feels slippery, reduce it until it's laughably small. 1 minute of breathing while the microwave hums. 1 text to a neighbor once a week. 1 new spice sprinkled on eggs. Small is honest. Honest is repeatable. Repeatable is powerful. Take a moment and picture a day not too far from now. You wake and greet the light. You move in gentle bites. You choose a simple, colorful meal. Your shoulders lower with a few slow breaths. A friend's voice warms your kitchen. And your brain perks up as you try something a little new. That's a day that points toward 100 not by chasing youth, but by caring for the you that exists today. Hold that picture. We're going to keep building on it, keeping every habit as easy and humane as possible so your body and mind can keep doing what they were made to do, carry you through a life you enjoy. There's a quiet kind of strength that comes from caring for the parts of life most people neglect, the small hinges that swing big doors. One of those hinges is purpose. You don't need a grand mission or a packed calendar. You need a reason to get up that feels like yours. Picture a simple promise you make to yourself and someone or something you care about. It could be tending a tomato plant until the first fruit ripens, reading a bedtime story to a grandchild over the phone every Wednesday, walking a neighbor's dog when she works late, or teaching a friend how to make the family soup. Purpose lives in small commitments that repeat. If you're unsure where to begin, ask 3 questions. What do I already do that helps someone? What tiny step would make it a bit more real? Who will notice if I keep doing it? Write a single sentence on a sticky note. I water the little garden every morning, or I call George on Fridays, and place it where your eyes linger. That sentence becomes your North Star on days when motivation hides under the covers. Another hinge is the kind of maintenance no one sees, but everyone feels: preventive care. Think of it as kindness sent ahead to your future self. Keep a simple health checklist where you can't miss it, taped inside a cabinet or on your fridge so you're not relying on memory. Annual dental cleanings keep your gums healthy, which in turn supports your heart. Hearing and vision checkups reduce falls and help you stay social. A quick scan of your medications with your doctor or pharmacist each year can catch interactions that sap energy or fog your thinking. If appointments feel overwhelming, batch them. Pick 1 month each year. Your birthday month is easy to remember, and schedule what you can in that window. Keep a small folder with your latest results and questions you want to ask. Slip it into your bag the night before. This turns healthcare from a series of hassles into a simple ritual, and rituals are easier to repeat. While you're caring for your future self, set up your home to support steady, confident movement. Homes collect tripping hazards the way pockets collect lint. Spend 10 unhurried minutes making small changes that pay you back every single day. Slide a non-slip mat inside the shower, add a second nightlight to chase away shadows, and move often used items to waist height so you're not climbing or crouching when you're sleepy. If a rug edge catches your shoe even once, tape it down or let it go. Keep a sturdy chair near the place where you put on shoes so you can sit and stand safely. Place a grabber tool where you actually need it by the washing machine, not buried in a drawer. You'll notice how these little adjustments make movement smoother, and smoother movement saves energy you can spend on things you enjoy. Your relationship with substances deserves gentle honesty, too. Bodies over 60 are more sensitive, and small changes here ripple far. If alcohol has become a nightly habit, try a 2-on, 1-off rhythm, or swap a few evenings for a pleasing alcohol-free drink poured into your nicest glass. Notice how your sleep, mood, and morning steadiness respond. If you smoke, even a small reduction helps your circulation within days. Pair each craving with a hand activity: peeling an orange, squeezing a soft ball, folding a dish towel to give your body the sensation it's missing while your brain learns a new pattern. If you're using sleep medications or painkillers more often, bring it into the open with your doctor and ask about gentler alternatives and tapering plans. None of this demands perfection. It asks for a little awareness and a willingness to experiment, like adjusting the flame on a stove until the simmer is just right. Now knit all of these habits together with a thread that keeps life feeling simple rather than crowded. Tiny planning. Big plans can be heavy. Tiny planning is light. Each evening, glance at tomorrow and choose 1 anchor for the morning, 1 for midday, and 1 for evening. Morning might be stepping outside for light and a glass of water. Midday could be a chair strength set and a quick call to a friend. Evening might be dimming lights and writing a single gratitude line. If you prefer, jot them on a card you can tuck into a pocket. 3 anchors make a day feel cared for without smothering it. When you hit your anchors, give yourself a smile or a literal pat on the shoulder. Your nervous system listens when you treat yourself like someone worth rooting for. And speaking of gratitude, it's more than a polite habit. It's a mood shifter that changes the body from the inside out. Keep it tiny and tangible. Name 1 thing that didn't have to happen but did. A seat opened on the bus. The soup tasted better than last week. The neighbor's roses were especially bold. Saying it out loud or scribbling it on a scrap of paper is enough. Gratitude isn't blind to hardship. It puts a small lamp on the table so you can sit with hardship and still see your hands. You may bump into days when everything feels too slow or too stiff or too much. Those are not failures. They're normal weather. On those days, shrink the habit until it fits. If the walk feels long, put on shoes and step to the mailbox. If cooking feels fussy, build a plate from what's easy: a boiled egg, a slice of whole grain toast, a few tomatoes, a drizzle of olive oil. If connecting feels heavy, send a single heart emoji to someone who understands what it means coming from you. Then rest without guilt. Longevity is not an obstacle course. It's a garden. Some days you prune, some days you water, some days you sit on the bench and smell the basil. All are part of tending. Take a breath with me and picture what these small hinges now open. You wake and meet the morning light like greeting an old friend. Your body moves in little doses that add up to strength. Your meals are simple and colorful, and your breath knows the path back to calm. Your circle is steady even if small, and your mind gets just enough newness to stay bright. You've claimed a purpose you can describe in one sentence. Your appointments are corralled into a neat ritual. Your home quietly protects you. Your choices around drink or smoke are conscious, not automatic. Your day is held by 3 anchors you can actually do, and a soft gratitude closes the evening. None of this shouts. It hums, and a life that hums has a way of going on. Before we part, let me leave you with this. You don't have to become a different person to live a long, rich life. You only have to become a kinder partner to the person you already are. Small changes, repeated gently, change everything: how your joints glide, how your heart beats, how your thoughts settle, how your mood shines, and how your days add up. If something here spoke to you, share it in the comments. What tiny habit will you plant this week, and where will you place your sticky note promise? Your ideas may be exactly what someone else needs to hear. If this felt helpful, tap like so more people your age can find it, and subscribe for more practical, uplifting guidance you can use right away. Here's to a life that's sturdy, joyful, and wonderfully yours today, tomorrow, and all the way to 100. Close your eyes for a moment and picture a day that belongs entirely to you. Not in a grand vacation way, but in a quiet, confident way. The morning opens with light on the curtains and a small pause before your feet touch the floor. You let your hands rest on your thighs, breathe in softly, and greet the day like you would an old friend you haven't seen in a while. There's no rush to prove anything. You stand, sip water that feels fresh and kind, and you step toward a window. The scene outside hasn't changed much since yesterday, yet it lands differently because you're meeting it with a little more presence. A few ankle circles, a patient neck stretch, a smile you don't force but allow. The body reads this as reassurance and starts cooperating. Breakfast isn't a performance. You choose something that makes you feel steady rather than spiky, and you give yourself the full permission to enjoy it. When the spoon clinks the bowl, you notice the sound instead of the headlines. There's strength building in the simplest places. The way your legs ease you out of the chair without a groan, the way your shoulders drop when you catch yourself rushing and decide not to. You hadn't planned a workout, but you catch yourself doing a slow set of sit-to-stands while the kettle hums, and you grin at your own cleverness. The brain loves to be in on a friendly secret, and you just invited it. Mid-morning offers its usual puzzles. The bill that needs paying, the appointment card that slipped behind the fruit bowl. You feel the old habit of tension coil in your chest, but you try a different move. You set a tiny timer not to race but to contain. 2 minutes to sort the mail into keep, respond, and recycle. 2 minutes to write a single question for your doctor and tuck it where you'll see it. The task transforms from a muddy field into a short path with stepping stones. When the timer sighs, you let yourself stop. Completion isn't about doing everything. It's about doing the next honest piece and letting that be enough. Before lunch, you step outside for a brief hello to whatever weather the day decided to wear. If it's sunny, you let the warmth find your forearms. If it's breezy, you feel the air clean the corners of your thoughts. If it's raining, you stand under a cover and count the dots as they make polka dots on the pavement. You hold the railing and practice one leg's balance, then the other, as if you're learning a gentle dance no one else needs to see. A neighbor waves. You wave back. That small exchange changes the quality of your whole afternoon in ways you can't measure but can feel. There's a lull after you eat, and instead of fighting the heaviness, you treat it like a tide you know will recede. You rest your eyes for 10 minutes in a chair, feet on a low stool, palms open on your thighs as if you've set down invisible bags. When you open your eyes again, you notice the quiet has sharpened your attention. You wander toward something mildly new. Perhaps you listen to a short lesson teaching the names of spices in another language, repeating the syllables until they feel round in your mouth. Perhaps you sort a handful of old photos, not all of them, just enough to find one story worth a note. Perhaps you play your favorite song and conduct an imaginary orchestra with your hands, letting your wrists and elbows enjoy the arc of motion. The point is not productivity. The point is aliveness. Afternoon brings a human moment, even a small one. You send a message to someone who has shared time with you in any season of life. It can be 5 words and a heart, or a memory that took 10 seconds to write, or a picture that made you laugh. You don't wait for the perfect friend or the perfect topic. You graze connection the way birds graze seed, often and lightly. When a reply comes, you let it land like a warm stone in the pocket of your coat. If silence comes instead, you don't make it a verdict. People are juggling their own weather. Your offering still counts. As evening begins to fold itself around your home, you make a small choice that will ripple into tomorrow. You set out the glass for morning water and place it by the sink where the light will catch it. You rest a notebook and pen on the chair where you sometimes sit, knowing that noticing is easier when the tools are already waiting. You look at the floor and catch the rug corner that lifted itself like a mischievous eyebrow, smoothing it down or lifting it away. These are love notes to your future self, and they take less time than complaining about the obstacles they prevent. On nights when the mind wants to rehash every imperfection, you give it a kinder job. You ask it to collect one detail from the day that you might have missed if you weren't paying attention. The way the steam rose from your mug and curled like a cat's tail. The exact shade of the neighbor's shirt. The long exhale you didn't realize you took when a difficult thought finally loosened its grip. You write it down if you like, or you whisper it to the dark. The body hears the message. We are safe enough to notice beauty. Sleep comes to homes where safety and beauty have been invited. It's easy to slip into the idea that success means never stumbling, but your life has taught you the opposite. Real momentum comes from knowing how to stumble safely and resume gently. On mornings when the routine falls apart because the phone rings or the knee complains or the mood slumps, you choose one thread to pick up rather than the whole sweater. Maybe you step outside for 30 seconds anyway, even in slippers. Maybe you do 2 wall push-ups and call it a win. Maybe you hold a warm cup with both hands and let your breath match the steam. You celebrate not the size of the effort, but the fact that you remained in relationship with yourself. That relationship is the engine. You might wonder how to keep motivation from going stale. Curiosity is the spice you sprinkle when a habit tastes bland. If the chair feels boring, try the stairs for the first 2 steps. If the usual walk is ho-hum, turn the corner you usually ignore and let your eyes learn a new hedge. If beans feel repetitive, explore a new shape of noodle that holds the sauce differently or a new herb that surprises you. If your balance practice has become rote, put on a song and let the rhythm ask your ankles to play. Staleness isn't a sign to quit. It's an invitation to tweak. There will be days when the news from the world or the doctor or the mirror pulls you into a narrow corridor where everything echoes. When that happens, widen the corridor on purpose. Open a window. Name 5 colors you can see. Put both feet on the floor and feel their weight. Find a living thing, a plant, a pet, your own pulse, and pay it attention for a minute longer than you feel like. The corridor softens. That softening is not small. It's you reclaiming your nervous system from a world that profits when you feel overwhelmed. Before bed, you walk the quiet lap that closes the day. Lights dim a little earlier than they used to. The screen takes a seat outside the bedroom. You move through the house with the kind of care you'd show if a sleeping child were inside, because there is. It's the part of you that still believes a long, good life is possible. You pull the covers up and lie there a second longer, listening to your breath like ocean waves. You don't promise tomorrow a grand reinvention. You promise it the honest company of someone who will show up gently and repeatedly. That's what bodies respond to. That's what lives lengthen for. And if a thought rises now, what if I'm starting too late? Let it glide by like a bird you nod to but don't follow. Late is a story, not a fact. Your cells are listening tonight right now, and they are very good at learning from new kindness. Let the room get dark. Let the day end fully. Trust that you've planted enough small seeds to meet tomorrow with a little more steadiness. Trust that steadiness grows into strength, and that strength, offered daily in small human amounts, is how ordinary people quietly reach extraordinary ages.